You're watching Pyro Media Network.
I can't let them take my soul. Nah, 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 no. Oh, I can't let them take my soul. Nah, 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 no. See, we was cool right before it hit the fence, but it hit the fan when I got him down at the bench. But I took a break, I had to leave and go get cleansed. God forgive me for all my sins. I can't say these cause my last name ain't Kent. Cooking on the stove, that's the way he paid the rent. Working on the pole, that's the way she pays tuition. Better watch your soul, cause you know they trying to get it. Yeah, yeah. I learned my right from wrong on the song. I let my heart bleed on my sleeve through microphones. I'm trying to right my wrongs by writing out my wrongs.
Hello,
Ran
Pyro
through a
Media
check, cause
family.
it's hard to live off bread alone.
Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience with us is fruitful. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. And we do hope you consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
And you better talk to me nicely. Next to blow, little bitch, I might be. Oh, can't forget all the days they overpriced me. So now that we up, don't get advice from no. Talk to me nicely. I know that they hit it, we getting icy. Whoa, can't forget all the moments they overpriced me. So now that we up, don't get advice from no. We on top, flipping the bird, they going sick. But I'ma make them eat every.
Woo! All right, y'all. Hey, everybody. It is I, Hope Giselle, and I am back with another episode of I Have the Thoughts, okay? And let me just say this real fast, real quick, real fast. Y'all like my bomb? Y'all like my bomb? It turn you on? Let me brush her real quick and see just how she perform. Okay, sorry. Today we got a lot of things to go through, right? The Queen Beyonce has finally decided that she's gonna stop being a little hating, thing-a-lang, okay? And she was going to give us some visuals of some kind, even though they're not the visuals that we wanted. But I wanted to really go through the motions with y'all. So what I love is that Miss Beyonce is really sticking to this icy white, ash tone blonde moment, while also giving us what I think have been very classic-esque looks. She's not doing too much. She's not doing too little. She's kind of trying to give us Black Marilyn Monroe tees. I know there are a lot of people that are against that idea or comparison. But I think that that's exactly what Miss Beyonce is trying to give. She's really giving this very muted idea of beauty lately. With this very high level Hollywood glamour, okay, if you will. That is my favorite shot. I think that when I think about the shots that she's released, this booty shot to showcase that the Levi denim is where it's at. That's for me. I love this hat, and I think that if Levi sold this hat, they would make, I want to say, a good couple 100,000 just on the hat alone. I think that people who don't even know about Beyonce being the reason for this hat would buy this hat. I hope that this belt is going to be on sale. I've seen the entirety of the collection that she's posted and the things that have been said about some of the items. There's only one thing that I was really truly interested in that didn't feel like it was already made for Levi with Beyonce's stamp of approval. And that was this one little set that kind of has what do you want to call it? A tuxedo stripe, if you will. And it's down the sides and it has little rhinestones in it. But honestly, it's the cheap rhinestoning that comes off after a couple of wears and things like that. And to me, I just don't feel like it's worth it. And while I love the idea of Beyonce doing this collaboration with Levi's, I want to remind people that the body is sold separately, right? And I say that I know that a lot of y'all are gonna giggle and kind of snort at that, but I think that the thing that makes Beyonce stuff sell is also the things that make people talk shit about Beyonce afterwards. And it's the idea that you're not going to look like this when you put this on, unless you look like this before you put this on. You know what I'm saying? And what I think with a lot of celebrity lines and a lot of celebrity launches and a lot of celebrity, collaborations is that these celebrities, especially like celebrity women, I think, will go in and they do these amazing photo shoots in these clothes, and people forget all of the TV and the movie magic that goes into these outfits. So first of all, there's a couple of things at play that I want to remind people about before they go and like jump into the era of Levi's ex Beyonce, which is one, Lil Mama is getting ready for a tour. Okay. And if you ask me, I think that Levi's is about to be the sponsor for the Act Two Renaissance, Cowboy Carter moment of this tour. And I think that they're investing a lot of money into this. And so if we know anything about Miss Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter, we know that when she goes on tour, Mama's gets her bodies together, okay? And so this is very much so pre-tour body, where she's still giving us humps and lumps before she loses a lot of it, going around the world and doing what she does. And so that's number one. She is in almost peak Beyonce, stage right now. And then number two, because she's Beyonce, these pictures are photoshopped, right? And I want to be very clear before any of y'all come at me. I am Beehive stand all the way down. Beyonce still photoshops images, okay? Beyonce still brings that waist in a little bit more than it naturally is. Beyonce still goes in and touches that face a little bit, especially underneath those eyes. If you've seen or met Beyonce in person, you know that lately Mama's has been tired. It has been catching up with her. And the Botox and stuff is cute, but also the pictures need to be a little airbrushed. And I love her for it. I love her for the idea of still wanting to fit in with the Instagram girly aesthetic while also like understanding that she's Beyonce. And then on top of that, there is tailoring that goes into these clothes. So a lot of people don't understand and recognize that when you are running an ad campaign for clothing specifically and especially, there is usually a high amount of tailoring that goes in to make sure that these clothes fit the artist or the celebrity that is promoting this brand to a T. And so even if you got the body like this, when you buy these clothes, unless you got somebody that's going to take in the waist and do all of the things and do all of, like, this stuff fits Beyonce like this, not because these jeans came out of the bag and went on her body like that. They fit Beyonce like that because after they were on the bag, somebody went in, they detached the waist, reattached the waist, made sure that it fit her waist so that when she puts it on, it does the thing. And then on top of that, there was still photoshopping. There was so much stuff that goes into this, right? And so before you go out here buying your Levi's jeans, expecting to come out of your house looking like this, understand and recognize and know that there are things to be considered, such as tour, such as body, such as money, such as all of the things that go into making Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter. Beyond that, I like it. The ad was really, really cute. The video was really, really cute. I don't think that we can play it here because it has music in it, and y'all know Beyonce will get us shut down. And so if you haven't seen it, you can definitely go to Parkwood. I believe Beyonce has posted on her official Instagram as well. But it just showcases Beyonce taking these jeans off, throwing a bunch of quarters inside the washing machine with it. She has on this cute little pair of like white Levi's boxer brief underwear moments. And she's trying to hide the the fupa area, which I love. I think that that's still really cute. The way that she like leans over, sucks in, and kind of like uses her knee to cover up the fact that she got a little pudge. Like, I love that because it's like, it's human, bitch. Like, and she's what, 40 something at this point. So I love the fact that we're still getting a chance to see that Beyonce is like, bitch, let me cover up a little bit of 1-2 out here. And if you haven't seen it, I think that it's cute. I think that a lot of the items in the collection are things that were already evergreen to Levi's. So I'm not going to run out there and buy the stuff. I've already, in fact, bought my Levi's collection stuff for this tour that I don't know when it's going to be announced, but just know Hope Giselle has already gotten her outfit. Like, it's already in the closet. So I'm not going to be out here buying the overpriced Beyonce laundrette, stuff just because I don't believe in it. I am going to be really curious to see the drag queens that remake this cowboy hat, because I know for a fact that the girls, the boys, the theys, and thems are going to be out here rocking Levi's cowboy hats to this concert. And I cannot wait to see it. I will not be one of them because I put too much effort and energy into my hair. Whether it's flat or poofy, I put too much effort in that flatness or that poofiness to put a hat on top of it just for a concert. And I like the idea of not having to sweat my hair out more than I'm going to sweat my face loose. So I won't be wearing the hat. But I cannot wait to see other people's rendition and recreation of this hat. So love you, Beyonce. Love you, Levi. Not going to be purchasing from this particular line or launch because I understand like the movie magic that goes into making this look more appealing for us. And to me, I just feel like these jeans are basic. I feel like this little crop top is basic. I don't need a Levi's when I can go to Forever 21 and get a $5, pack of them and still get the same and achieve the same look. And I don't necessarily think that I need to go to Levi's and buy this particular pair of jeans to get this look. I could buy a regular pair of jeans that cost me $50 instead of the ones that cost $94 because Beyonce is, with it. And I guess if you want to have like that Beyonce tag on them, if that's important to you, then I guess that would be the reason why I would support it or buy it. But beyond that, I feel like a lot of this stuff is going to go on sale as soon as, Cowboy Carter is up. These are jeans that I think that they're going to mass produce and make. So it's not like Ivy Park where you're going to like run out of the opportunity to get them. I think that these jeans are going to float around for like the next couple of years and you'll find you a pair, even if it's not during the hype of everything. So if you're like me and you know how to shop and you understand shoppers, all of that stuff, I'm going to just wait till they go on sale, and then I'll purchase it and I'll have it then, but I'm not going to wreck my brain trying to get there now. That's just my 2 cents on this Beyonce drop. Love it. Love the imagery. Love her. Love how she like makes a simple white tee and some jeans look really cute and high fashion, but not worth the price tag that I think that they're going to be charging or that they are charging for this. And so it's going to be a skip for me, but a love for the look. Beyond that, let's talk about other celebrities who have made their way into some, ad space. Lil Nas X has been an advisor or been like an ambassador for YSL for quite some time now. We saw him with YSL Beauty before, and now they have him on this YSL cologne. Now, let me tell y'all something. I know that there's a time and place for everything, okay? And I respect, that there's a time and place for everything. This does not look like Lil Nas no more. I don't like the idea that I think that certain brands want to wash him down in order for him to be considered to be marketable. And I feel like I'm looking at this person who once again feels repressed in these photos and that once again feels like he has to like figure out his voice and find out who he is. A lot of these images, like to me, they look like they're older images. They don't look like brand new images. And they just might be, knowing the way that Hollywood and LA and all of these places, get things done. These very well might be older images that are just surfacing for us. But something about them just don't feel like they are Lil Nas X like right now and how he currently is moving. And it doesn't seem like he's necessarily really comfortable with the idea that he was made to. It kind of looks like they were like telling him to like masculinize it, like butch it up a little bit more. And personally, for me, I think that Lil Nas X is very masculine. I think that he has like butch queen tendencies, but even in his like queen tendencies of it all, I think that he's still a very masculine young man. And I think that he does masculinity in the way that feels comfortable for him. And this does not feel like it felt comfortable for him to me. I could be wrong, but something about this just feels like a regression of his brand versus like him stepping into his brand. This looks like butch queen trying to give trade. And if you are a part of the LGBTQIA plus community, then you know exactly what I mean. This does not look like the Lil Nas X that we've come to know over the last couple of years. It looks like the Lil Nas X that was trying to convince us that he wasn't a barb. And I am not necessarily sure that I like opportunities to work with brands that are this huge that also feel like there's a desire for the celebrity to kind of sort of meet a standard of beauty or a standard of masculinity or femininity that doesn't necessarily feel true to them. And this ad, something about it does not feel true. It feels beautiful, but I feel like it would feel more beautiful if I felt like he were truly comfortable with the look that he's giving. And to me, I think a little faux lock, I feel like a little blonde. I feel like a little more gloss. I feel like, a little bit more of his newer style would have made this picture that much more beautiful. And it's not to say that I wanted him to like punk it up. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want him to be a bitch in these photos, like for the sake of people saying like, oh, well, we need masculine representation and like, whatever. Like I agree. I just think that masculine representation could have been in the way that we've seen Lil Nas give masculine representation in the past. That does not limit his inner beauty that shines when he's able to be himself. But that's just me. I still think that this is an amazing ad. I think that like it's really, really great the way that he's lit. I think that it showcases his beautiful chocolate skin. He's always been a very handsome boy to me. And I bought this cologne for my husband before Lil Nas X's ad came out. And I can tell y'all, it's definitely giving pussy wetter, panty wetter, whatever wetter. If you believe that your pussy got that gushy, it's gonna do that for you. So if you have a masculine person in your life who likes to smell, you know, uber good, and you want to have an excuse to jump their bones, this cologne is going to be one of many. I really love this. The scent. It's very fresh, but spicy and warm. And I think that that's the thing that kind of makes it like a jump your bones sort of fragrance for me. That spice and that warmth make it a really, really great holiday scent. It's going to be one of those that like if your husband, masculine affirming person, whomever, puts this on and goes to the holiday party, you gonna have to like be real cute with the girls off to the side as they give hugs, because when I tell you it's gonna give like that lean in for her, like pull me close kind of moment. Yeah, get off my man. Get off my man. That's what that smells like. So for those of you all who are like a little curious about what it smells like and you're wondering like outside of the ad, if the fragrance is worth it, definitely worth it. 10 out of 10. Totally recommend go and grab that. And last but not least, before I head to a break, I have to remind y'all, because I'm going to keep reminding y'all, voting matters. Do not let these people out here discourage you and make you think that your vote does not matter. But in case you were wondering, I wanted to make sure that you had some do's and don'ts for the process, okay? So I partnered up with my girls over at Super Majority. I've worked with them for the last 7 or 8 years to do a lot of different work. And this year, they are doing some voting do's and don'ts. And now this is not an ad space. This is just me sharing information with you all. So in case you had a couple of different like ideas about what you can do and what you can't do and what you should or shouldn't do at the polls, there's a little list. So let's go through the do's together. We want to make sure that you are checking your voter registration. We also want to make sure that you save the voter protection hotline number and that you bring a snack and some water and make a voting plan. And that means figure out who or what is on your ballot. For a lot of you all, you're wondering why there's an idea of bringing snacks and water. And it's just because that you know that when we are in minority places such as Georgia or Florida or anywhere where there are like a vast majority of Black people that can swing the vote to the left, there are always going to be people that are like going out of their way to make sure that it's hard for you to do that. So make sure you have a snack, make sure you got some water, make sure your phone is fully charged, make sure that you bring a portable charger, because they're going to try to wait you out. And year after year after year after year after year, after election cycle, they manage to wait out a lot of minority voters, either due to the lack of being able to get off of work or the lack of just boredom. Like there's nothing to do. And then also make sure that you make a voting plan. People often call this voting down, the idea of like voting down ballot, because oftentimes those are the people that have the most like liberal votes or the most liberal ideals about the way that they want to run things, whereas voting up will tend to get you the opposite effect. And so while that's not always foolproof, I think that like starting a voting plan with the idea of like vote down really helps you with that idea. But also you want to make sure that you're telling your folks and your people and the people around you about your voting plan. Now, this is a nonpartisan, sort of deal. Vote for who you want to vote for. Again, I need my disclaimer. Hope Giselle is not telling anybody to vote for or against anyone, and neither is Pyro. We are just simply saying that you need to get your butt out there and go and vote. However you vote is on you. I would just say that if you have people within minority communities that are a part of the folks that you care about and love, then you should really take your vote seriously and think about how voting for certain candidates will, affect those people that you love. Now, when we think about the don'ts, let's talk a little bit about what you should not be doing. Do not wait until the last minute to find your polling location, okay? Do not be shy about talking to your friends about your voting plan, because the more that you talk to them, the more they're inclined that they will be to make sure they actually get up and vote. And do not feel pressured to leave the line if polls have closed. If you are in the line, you still have the right to cast your vote, and that is not something they're going to tell you. They're going to simply tell you that the polls have closed. They do not tell you that you don't have to leave as long as you were in line. And a lot of the time, what you want to do is try to get video proof. And so what me and my friends will do is that we will take videos of ourselves on Snapchat using the Snapchat filter that has like a timestamp on it, so that they know that you did not alter this. Oftentimes people will say like, oh, but it does it on iPhone or it does it on the Droid. Yes, but those times can then be like altered later, and folks will then say like, oh, well, like we don't know if that actually happened if they altered it. But a Snapchat filter is a Snapchat filter is a Snapchat filter. You cannot go into Snapchat's interface and alter that. And so oftentimes, like I tell people to like use your Snapchat filter. Anyone that has like a timestamp is perfectly fine. And do that about every like 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how long your line is, so that people, can't contest that you have been in line and that you are in line. And I typically try to do one where you can see my face and my outfit, and maybe like, the scenery, or like doing a video that says like, hey, it's 105 at the time, and like checking in and doing that, because we've heard of people, doing those things, and then people saying like, oh, well, what if this is doctored, whatever the case may be. So it sucks that we have to have all of these plans in place as minority people in order to cast our vote, but our votes matter, because if they didn't, we wouldn't have to need all these plans, because they wouldn't, be bothered by our votes, but they are. So I just wanted to make sure that as you all are out here thinking about voting, as you all are out here thinking about not voting, that we do this the right way, and that we're honest with ourselves about what we can change versus what we can't. Now, I hope y'all think about that over the break, and I'll see y'all in a bit, because I got some really heavy stuff to come back at you all with after this break. See you soon.
Talk to me nicely. Next to blow, little bitch, I might be. Can't forget all the days they overpriced me. So now that we up,
Elevate your entertainment with Watch Vim. Discover the ultimate online streaming destination. Get an auto-renewing monthly subscription for unlimited content on all devices. Join us in supporting a Black-owned streaming platform that brings top-tier entertainment. Let the streaming excitement begin at Watch Vim, your seamless experience for endless entertainment. Stream online or download the Watch Vim app now.
Are you ready for enlightening conversations that transcend boundaries? Get ready for Conversations with Clergy, brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network. In partnership with the world's largest publicly funded international collaboration, the HVTN is dedicated to evaluating vaccines to prevent HIV and COVID-19. But their impact doesn't stop there. The HVTN is at the forefront of advancing vaccinology, social and behavioral sciences, statistics, immunology, and even contributing to the research on tuberculosis and COVID-19 vaccines. By supporting Conversations with Clergy, the HVTN not only brings you thought-provoking discussions, but also contributes to the global effort to combat infectious diseases. Tune in, stay informed, and be a part of the change. Conversations with Clergy, supported by the HVTN, empowering conversations, empowering lives. Join us in this journey of knowledge, understanding, and progress. Conversations with Clergy, proudly brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network, because together we can make a difference.
I noticed they hit it, we getting icy. Whoa, can't forget all the moments they overpriced me. So now that we up, don't get it.
Hey everybody, it is I Hope Giselle, and I am back with this episode of I Have Thoughts. In case you missed the first half and you're just popping up, we talked a little bit about Beyonce and her Levi's ad and how we all want a pair of those jeans, but you got to hear my thoughts in the playback to figure out how I really feel about those jeans. We talked also a little bit about Lil Nas X's collaboration with YSL and their fragrance, and how I feel about some of that ad space and the way that it's coming up. And of course, we talked about voting, because if we're not voting, what are we doing, people? Especially if you're a minority. Now, one of the things that I am sick and tired of, but not really sick and tired of talking about, is Boosie. Okay. And if you follow me and if you know anything about how I feel about anybody, you know I don't like this little gremlin. Okay. But I want you to hear from his daughter just a snippet of a 10-minute video that she made that you can watch on Gay Magazine. But I want y'all to hear from her mouth how she feels about how his speaking on her has affected her. If you don't want to hear it from a loudmouth bitch on the internet, hear from his daughter. And then let's talk.
I'm really fed up. And you get to talking about God. Like, I don't know my God. He talking about God and how I grew up. I know my God from Nita, from my mama. My mama sent me scriptures every morning. My mama put me in the church home. I don't recall not one time I'm ever getting up with you and you taking me to the Lord's house. I don't never recall it. I didn't learn that from you. I learned to hustle from you. I learned to not let nobody play with me from you, even if it's you. You get what I'm saying? And it's crazy because I never.
Let me tell y'all something. That video is about 10 minutes and 12 seconds long. And if you have the time, the capacity, and the space to hear her out, I want you to take the time to do that. And I want you to take the time to do that. I'm sorry, because I don't want to have to keep moving this piece. If you have the time to do that, I want you to take the time to do that, because this reminded me of every queer person who was Black, at least, their journey with our parents, especially if we had parents who were traditionally Black, traditionally Baptist, traditionally in the church, traditionally in the idea that they wanted to see us a certain way, they wanted us to behave a certain way, they wanted us to look a certain way. There's something that is wildly familiar in a lot of the stories that you're going to hear from LGBTQIA plus Black folk. And I think that as a lot of people sit back and say things like, oh, why do you keep giving Boosie energy? Or how come every time he says something, like there's a need to, like, people go crazy in the LGBTQIA plus community? And it's because people like him are helping to raise and or traumatize young girls like this. This is his daughter. This is his daughter. So a lot of people who have all of these issues and don't mind when he's talking about somebody else's daughter, and they say all of this bullshit and how, oh, Boosie is a martyr when he's talking about somebody else's daughter. How do you feel about the way he treats his own daughter? Because if it's really about the kids, like y'all say that it's about the kids, how do y'all feel about the way he's treating his own child and the way that he's making his own child feel? And a lot of you all, like she said, lean on this idea of the Lord and the Bible and all of this stuff. Where is all of that smoke when you find out he ain't even taking this little girl to church? He's not even taking this little girl to church. And some of these celebrity children are messy and they looking for their moment. This little girl ain't looking for her moment. In fact, she's been avoiding the moment that she was going to have to get on the internet and talk about this man, and you can see it. Some of these kids, we have to like really like figure it out. Like, I don't know, there might be some like daddy child beef going on. Every kid has a different relationship. Sometimes kids are just being kids. This is not that moment. What I see is a very emotionally intelligent young lady who has had enough of her father talking down about the community in general that she belongs to. But now she sees that he is taking opportunity to weaponize that platform that he has on her. And as Michael B. Jordan would say, is this your king? This is your king. Somebody who doesn't even make their own daughter feel affirmed. And a lot of you all want me to believe that I should be taking child rearing advice from this man. I'm sending this young lady so much healing and so much love and so much light, because I remember what it was like to be her. I remember what it was like to know that your parents cared more about the way that people saw them than understanding and caring about how you felt about them. That unconditional love is not so unconditional when it comes down to the idea of you not liking who the fuck I sleep with, as if it's going to affect you for real, for real. And to all of the kids of parents who have platform in whatever way, it gets better. It gets better. And at some point you find a way to move past it, but you shouldn't have to. Nobody should have to deal with the idea of their parent being their bully. And especially when their parent has a blowhorn of millions of people at their disposal. Boosie and Boosie fans who are condoning this type of behavior, you need your ass whooped. You need your ass whooped. Because if you can look at someone's child who is clearly hurting in the way that this young girl is hurting and not find any fault in him as a father, to at the very least be supportive of his daughter, who is honestly and honestly just trying to be his little girl in the way that makes her comfortable, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You may not ever get a chance to walk her down the aisle in a white dress. But unlike a lot of us who don't even want our parents present, Boosie, you still got a shot. And I hope, for the love of God, that you don't take your response to the internet, at least without having a conversation with your daughter first. And that's all I got on that. Let's talk about friendship. Because I think of relationships with people, no matter who they are, starting out as a friendship first. And I saw this quote on Instagram, and I wanted to run this by you all and run my thoughts around this by you all. No one is truly your friend until they have seen the worst of you and still stayed. This quote rings so true to me, because I think that when I think about love and when I think about friendship and when I think about the people that matter the most to me, I think about the folks that have seen me at my worst. And I'm not talking about broke. I'm not talking about no money. I'm not talking about makeup off, makeup on, before surgery, after surgery. I'm not talking about superficial, dumb shit like that. When I say people who have seen me at my worst, I'm talking about the people who have watched me act an ass. I'm talking about the people who I have acted an ass to. I'm talking about the people who have held me down, 90 going north. The people who have understood that they did not deserve that type of behavior from me at all. The people I overlooked when I should have platformed. The people who I forgot about when I should have prioritized. The people who went out of their way to make sure that I had when I had nothing, and now I have a thing, and they realize that they're not necessarily a priority in my life, and they are still around. And those people are important, not just because I think some people will be like, oh, well, they're doormats, they're stupid. No, those people are important because those are true friends. Those are not friends that are only there when you're up, when you're feeling good, when you're in a place to pacify them, when you're in a place to purchase things for them, when you're in a place to speak softly and nicely to them. The friend that is there for you when you don't have nothing nice to say to yourself, and so you damn sure ain't got nothing nice to say to nobody else, those friends are your friends. Those friends are the ones that are going to keep your motherfucking secrets. Those friends are the ones that are going to go at your husband for you when you can't do it for yourself because you so love drunk. That are going to go at your partner, your girlfriend, your grandma and them. Bitch, the friends that are going to come at your family like they were born from the same blood, bitch, because they love you that much, even though you have done nothing recently to deserve it. And a lot of us are in friendships and relationships like this And we are taking people for granted. We're taking their love for granted. We're taking the time that they spend for granted. We acting like we got an attitude with them when they have all the rights and all the reasons to be upset with us, and they're not. The people that are understanding to all of your situational BS, the people that give you grace when you don't deserve anything, the people that you know for a fact that you are not doing well by them. And so long as they are not being mistreated in a way that affects them and the way that they're able to navigate, they're going to be there for you. And it's not to say that you abuse those friendships, but it is to say that some of us need to check in and tap in on those relationships, because our selfish asses have not been good to people who have only been good and only wanted to see the best and only wanted the best for us. And in a world where everybody is looking for what they can get from you, we all need a few good friends. And oftentimes, those are going to be the people that know and understand that even when you're at your worst, there is a good person in there that is loving, that is kind, that is willing to go the extra mile. And sometimes you just don't have access to that person. And it's not a fireable offense for them. Those are your people. Make amends with those people. Call those people. Love on those people. Because you don't know when your first time and your last time is going to be. So make every time count. With that, I'm going to get into my final thoughts. So we've been able to talk about what it means to show up and what it means to be able to put things on and to have things produced and what's real versus what isn't. We've been able to talk a little bit about the idea of how people show up for other people and what it means to truly be in a space where you can accept a person as they come, or where you're dictating a way that a person has to show up in order to receive love from you. But what I want you all to leave from this understanding is that regardless of how a person is willing to receive you, regardless of whether a person is willing to take your smoke and mirrors and your filters and your fupa, or whether a person is wanting you to downplay or fall into a line or a role that makes them feel comfortable, or if a person is just simply willing to take the time to truly see who you are until you show up in a way that makes them feel happy with you. You get the final say so in how you show up regardless. You can either take the time to become the person that they would like you to be, or you can own who you are and make them adjust and see who your real friends are. Because the people that love you do not care. And the people that care do not matter. Until next time, I'll see you all around. Bye, everybody.
Talk to me nicely. I noticed they heated, we getting icy. Whoa, can't forget all the moments they overpriced me. So now that we up, don't good advice we know.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.